All right, Algebra 2, let's jump right into our next lesson. I hope you're staying safe. Today we're going to focus on graphing. So we're going to put notes on pages 23 and 25 today. Remember, pause to copy stuff down. All right, so go ahead and pause on this page to get your last four. Pause here to copy this down. All right, so our goal is to graph on this page 23. We're going to graph from vertex form. So this is the parent graph that you see over here, these points and this equation. It's the most basic x squared. So all the movements we've been talking about, left, right, up, down, skinny, flipping, this is the basic graph, and the other ones are changing from this one. So go ahead and pause, copy these four graphs down. Okay, so now that you pause and copy these down, I'm going to go through and how to graph them. So I should identify my HK for these because that's going to give me my vertex. And on the first one, the vertex is going to be -4, 0. So I'm going to go to -4, 0, put a point as best I can on this little graph. And my A is a 1. So whatever your A is, on a parabola, you just go to the right one spot, and whatever your A is, that's how much you move. And the left side is just going to mimic that. And it's not, there we go. It's being a little weird. And then to get the second point, since this is squaring, when you move 2 spots over, you're going to square 2 and get 4. One, two, three, 4. All right. And it's going to be the same exact over here. And now we can connect the dots. And this was not a very, oh man, that was absolutely terrible. I did not do a good job of connecting those dots. All right, so let's come over here to this one. The H is 0 and the K is 2. So there's my vertex, 0, 2. These graphs are so small that it's very difficult for me to see. And then once again, our A is 1. So we go to the right one, up 1, left one, up 1. Then we're going to go 4. And just it's the exact mirror image on the other side. I do not know why it's not staying. It's like if I touch too hard, it does weird stuff. All right, now this one doesn't have an H and a K. Like, there's no numbers. I'm not even touching a line. My computer's starting to act a little funny on me here. So my HK on this one is 0, 0. That's the origin. Now this one, since my A is 3, when I go to the right one, it's going to be 3 that I'm going up. Man, why is this doing that? And the same on the left side. I do not know why it is not letting me write very well for these points. And you can see how skinny it is. All right, this next one has a -3 and a -8 for the HK. So -3, -8. Man, it's just so hard to see. Let me put on some glasses here. Okay, that's better. So -3, -8 is down here. And then the A is 2. So when I go to the right one, I'm going to go up 2. And the same on the other side. And if I was to go again, normally it would be 4, because 2 squared is 4, but I'm doubling that to 8. So that's going to be all the way up here. And you can confirm this. Oh my God, this thing is going to drive me crazy. If you go into your Desmos graphing calculator and type it in, you can look at the table on it. All right, that was a little tough to draw on here. Whew, drove me crazy. All right, let's roll on. All right, now here comes a tough one. We're going to graph from standard form. So what we're going to do is focus on using your calculator at the moment, but we'll get into more detail during our Zoom lesson on this. But there is an easy way to get the vertex out of standard form. And we start by using this little guy to get the x value, the -b/2a. It's a very commonly used tool. Once we get that x value, we can plug it in and we get the y. We look at the equation to see what the a is. It tells if it's going to open up or down. It tells if there's going to be any stretch. And if you also have if you've got the vertex and you've got your A, you've got your graphing or vertex form. So, I mean, you can just rewrite it that way pretty easy. It's a nice little job here. So what I'm going to do is just focus on the graphing piece of this. All right, so now there are a couple ways you can do this. So when you are doing this little piece, I can see that my A is 1 over here. Now, if I want to get my vertex, what I'm going to do is -b/2a. My b is 4, so it's going to be -4 over 2 times 1. That's a 2a. And that's going to give me -2. That's the x value of the vertex. Now what I'm going to do is plug that 2 in to the equation. So it's going to be -2 squared plus 4 times -2 minus 5. 4 minus 8 minus 5. That's going to give me -4 minus -5 is -9. So -2, -9 is my vertex. So then I'm going to come over here to my graph and plot that point. -2, -9, which actually goes just underneath here. And since my A was 1, I'm going to go to the right one, up 1. Left one, up 1. Do not know why it keeps erasing. And then to get the next one, when I go right 2, I go up 4. And it's a mirror image on the other side. And there goes my graph. Do the best you can to connect the dots with little curves. It's not easy. Come over to this next one, guys. And once again, your B is 2 and your A is 1. So we're going to do x equals -b/2a. That's going to be -2/2. So my x value of the vertex is -1. I'll write it above, -1. I'm going to plug that -1 into the equation. I'll do it here at the bottom. -1 squared plus 2 times -1 plus 1. You can use the calculator for this if you want. And 1 minus 2 is -1, plus 1 is 0. So the vertex on this bad boy is at -1, 0. And since my A is 1, As I go to the right one, I go up 1, left 1, up 1, right 2, up 4. And the same on the other side. And then I just connect my dots as best I can with a little curve. And there we go. It's a little bit tricky. We're going to talk about this in the Zoom class a little bit more. But feel free to listen to this as often as you need. So there are a few assignments in Canvas. There's a little worksheet that you can print off or just draw on paste paper and submit. You have a parabola graph slide. And then you have 2 problems out of the book. All right. You guys stay safe. Take care. And we'll see you in Zoom.